Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I've got some words about a situation that has occurred recently, and it's not a situation that I normally would speak about, and I didn't prepare any notes. I'm just speaking from the hearts, from the feels, as Lacey Green would say, but it ticked me off enough that I had to say something. So there is a game coming out called Yooka, and this is being made by Playtonic games. See, I even need to have my notes because that's how little I prepared for this. And Yooka is a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, which we have been wanting a long time. Now, for the record, I liked Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I thought that was a great game. But I know that it was not a real sequel to Banjo-Tooie, which is what we really wanted. So a lot of developers for Rare left the company, founded Playtonic Games, and decided we're going to make a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. But, there's one problem. We really don't have the money to do that, so what are we going to do? We're going to go to Kickstarter, and we are going to fund the game. Now, full disclosure, I didn't kickstart this game. I know a couple people who did. I was not one of them. I did pre-order it for Xbox One on Best Buy once it was made available. And it's nothing against them, it's just that I've only contributed to one game on Kickstarter, which was Shenmue 3, and it's only because that is the only game I wanted bad enough to take a chance on doing a Kickstarting process. Yooka might not be a good game. Mighty Number 9 turned out to be awful. On the other hand, it could be good. I don't know. We'll have to play it. That's not really what this is about. Well, what this is about is that they had actually gotten some voice work done by JonTron. He's a famous gaming YouTuber. He does comedy on games and stuff. And if you're a gamer, you probably watch JonTron. And he was instrumental in helping this Kickstarter be a success. He contributed some money himself, and he was promoting the project on his YouTube videos and encouraging people to go fund the game. And as a result, it got funded. It might have gotten funded without him, but he helped tremendously. And as one of the bigger backers of the game, and maybe because of his popularity, they decided to have him do some voice work. Well, a few weeks ago, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't know, JonTron was doing a debate with someone, and he said some things that were not politically correct. Now, I didn't watch the debate, in all fairness. I don't know what was said. You might say that gimps my argument. I think it makes my argument stronger, as does another fact, which I will reveal later on. But because of these comments, Playtonic Games announced that they were removing JonTron from the final game, which I think is wrong. I think that is totally wrong, but that's my opinion. And here's the thing. A lot of people have said, well, we don't agree with that, and we won't be buying the game because of that. But you know what? It is Playtonic's game. It's their property. They have every right to do what they want to. And you know what? I'm going to call them on that because I don't think people actually realize that, no, Playtonic actually has no right to do this. Playtonic has no right to remove JonTron from the game. And here's why. Yooka was not funded by Playtonic Games. They made the game, yes, but the game was funded by the fans. And if you look at their Kickstarter page and the Steam page, those people who funded the game are now saying, we want a refund. We think this is wrong. We do not believe JonTron to be ostracized for his political views, whether we agree with them or not. We want a refund. It's gotten to the point where on the Steam page and the Kickstarter page, Playtonic Games actually added to the FAQ, can we get a refund? And they said, no, there's no refund. And in some sense, they're right. Kickstarter doesn't do refunds. But here's the thing. Not only did they have to address that there's not going to be a refund, they started removing comments that are negative about this decision, which that's not right either. And let me tell you something, Playtonic. And when I say we, I'm speaking in general terms, because obviously I didn't contribute to Kickstarter. I was going to buy your game, but I canceled the pre-order, so that's $40 you're not going to get from me. But here's the thing. As a community, the Kickstarter community, whoever contributed to that game who was saying, I want a refund because I do not agree with this, guess what? They paid the game. We paid for the game. We paid for Yooka. We paid for it to get made. And we want JonTron in the game. We want you to keep your promise and leave him in the game. You might say, oh, it's our game. No, it's not your game. It's our game. We funded the Kickstarter. We paid the money. We want him in the game. And if you're not going to put him in the game, we want our money back. It's that simple. Now, legally, I don't know if you can enforce it. I don't think the fans can actually do anything about that. But here's the thing. Playtonic, picked up the controversial stories about JonTron. But here's the thing. Most of the people who were complaining about JonTron were not gamers. I say most because I know some of them were. But most were not gamers. They didn't care. The people who do care about JonTron staying in the game, they are gamers and they're your customers. Not only did they pay for this game, but some of these people who hadn't paid for the game were going to pay for the game. They're not going to do that anymore. You have to put JonTron back in. And this is not a request. This is a demand. If someone from Kickstarter says, hey, I paid for this game and you took this out and I don't agree with it, you put him back in, you got to do it. When you have thousands of people saying the exact same thing, you got to put JonTron back in the game. And here's why I can say this, because you might say, well, he said these things. It's like, does that affect, shouldn't we take that into consideration when we release the file? No. Here's the thing. I'm a film critic, and I have to deal with this all the time. People who say, why did you give The Pianist a high review? Roman Polanski is a rapist. Why did you give Manchester by the Sea 5 stars and put it number 2 in your top 10 list? Casey Affleck is a rapist. Why did you give Hacksaw Ridge 4.5 stars and place it number 6 on your best films of the year list? He's a sadomasochist and he's anti-Semitic. You want to know how? Because I am not judging their personal views. I am judging the work they are doing. And here's the thing. If their work is good, I will say it's good. If I'm talking about them personally, obviously I would be writing very different articles. In fact, my review of Roman Polanski, Wanted and Desired, even though I praised the movie, I was much more critical about the defense of Roman Polanski because I did not believe that a fair trial would have resulted in a different outcome. He was a rapist. He did something wrong. He admitted he did something wrong. And even though the trial was admittingly not fair, the result would have been very similar had he did get fair trial. He escaped the country because he just didn't want to deal with the punishment he was going to be getting. My opinion, of course. So that's one reason I can say this. The other reason I could say this, and I did officially cancel my pre-ordered game. So I was a paying customer. I am not a paying customer anymore. Here's the thing. I don't even watch JonTron. Seriously, I don't. I watch Mundane Matt. I watch Nostalgia Critic. I like Angry Video Game Nerd. I watch Boogie2988, I believe his name is. I do watch gaming-related shows. I sometimes watch The Know. But I don't watch JonTron. It's not because I dislike his videos. In fact, I've actually enjoyed the few that I have seen. I don't know why. I just watch other people. And even I am saying this is wrong. He should be put back in the game. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Playtonic Games, you are seriously mistaken if you think you have the right to take him out of the game. You have Kickstarter backers. And if you have more than 1,000 Kickstarter backers, and it's probably a lot closer to 5,000 to 10,000 Kickstarter backers saying, hey, we paid for this game, put him back in. Guess what? You put him back in. Or here's the compromise. Put an update that is non-required. You can call it the JonTron update free. And this is the update where if people who want JonTron in the game, they can download the patch and put him in the game. And if people don't want him in the game, they will simply not download the patch. It's that simple. That's the compromise you make. But if you have to do one or the other, you put him in. Because we paid for that game. It's our game. It's not your game. We have the right to demand you put him back in. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, what do you folks think? Do you agree, disagree? I'd like to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.